Have you ever thought about buying a home that you have never seen before in real life? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to share with you 8 things to avoid, 8 mistakes that you want to avoid if you want to or need to buy a home that you've never seen before. Hi, I'm Nora Spangler with Rogue Real Estate, and today I'm actually in a home that a buyer client of mine who lives out of the area and wants to move here, she wants to maybe make an offer on this house. So this is part of my process. I'm here and I'm going to check out the home thoroughly for her and see if maybe she wants to make an offer. But what are the mistakes that could be made along the way? Mistake number 1. Not having an agent, a buyer's agent that just works for you, come and tour the house, take photos, take videos. You need to have someone who has enough technical skill to do this and to upload videos for you and enable you to view them quickly so you can decide whether you're in or you're out. The second thing you don't want to do is to use the listing agent as your buyer's agent, because they already are under a legal contract to negotiate and to work on behalf of the seller. Now, they can work for you as well, but there are certain things that they can't share, and it can be challenging to keep the information separate and private and confidential if you're working both sides of the deal. It does not cost the buyer anything to have an agent working for them, for you, because the seller is going to pay the commission for both the buyer and the seller's agent here in Oregon. That's the system that we have. So they're already paying for you to have someone to negotiate against them. I know it sounds a little crazy, but that's how our system works. So get your own buyer's agent. And secondly, find someone who is familiar with helping people move from a distance to our area, to Bend, Oregon. This is the bulk of my business, is all you people out there finding me on YouTube, giving me a call or a text or an email, and downloading my relocation guide, which, by the way, there's a link down there if you want to download that relocation guide. But people find me and I help them go through the difficult process of viewing properties from a distance. So you want someone with experience helping people move to the area. Mistake number 3 would be to not check out the neighborhood that this beautiful home is in. You can fall in love with a house on the MLS, but I'm sure you've seen this when you show up at the front door and you see what's to the left and what's to the right, you're not so happy anymore. So you've got to be able to get on Google Maps, drive yourself around virtually through the neighborhood, check out what's next to it, find out where shopping is located, find out where the schools and the parks and all those things are. And my second tip, of course, is have an agent who will help you with this process and who will send you information about schools and parks and help you to view the neighborhood. I will go out and take videos not only of a house, but of the neighborhood for you and photographs to send to you so that as the buyer, you can make an informed decision, because after all, this is one of, if not the biggest price tag item you are ever going to buy in your whole life. Homes, average homes are now in the $600,000 and $700,000 range in Bend. That's not pocket change. So you really need someone working for you who will provide you with all the information that you need. Tip number 4, you've got to use your sense of smell, not just your eyes, also your ears. Because if the buyer I'm working with doesn't want to be near a busy street, have, commercial zones right next to them, I've got to listen. I've got to be aware and let them know if there's any issues. And also smells. The house I'm in doesn't have any weird smells, so that's a good thing. And that's something that you need to look out for. Use all of your senses, not just your eyes. Mistake number 5 to avoid is not using home inspectors. You've got to have a home inspection. I always suggest that even if you yourself have walked through the home, you definitely want to have someone you trust, and I can always recommend people, but you have to make the choice and choose a home inspector that you feel confident is going to work best on your behalf. And then also, you might need to do some secondary inspections. Like if something comes up on the regular inspection about the roof or the heating system, electrical maybe, you might want to also have some secondary inspections done. So don't be afraid to spend a little money up front to make sure that this is the house that you really want, even if you've never been to it before. Mistake number 6 to avoid is just not understanding the timing of the whole buying process. Maybe you're trying to do this and it's your first home you've ever bought. Wow, that's kind of scary. First time home buying is stressful enough. So if you're doing it long distance, you should definitely know that the process is going to take at least 30 to 45 days, most likely, from the time your offer gets accepted until you can move into the home. And these days, just so you know, many sellers are asking buyers to rent back the property to them for a month or more. So make sure there's no language like that in the listing, and your agent can let you know that, because sometimes there's these little secret comments that the public can't see, but your realtor can see them. And they may reveal information like things that the seller needs or wants in the process. Mistake number 7, not having all your financial things in order. Your ducks have to be all in a row. You should already be pre-approved and have that pre-approval letter ready to email to your agent so he or she can include it with your offer. You definitely need to have your earnest money, which is generally between 1% and 3% of the purchase price. That has to be liquid funds in your bank account, ready to go. It will need to be deposited with escrow, usually in about 3 days after your offer is accepted. And your down payment. You want to make sure your down payment is liquid cash funds ready to go in a bank or savings account. It can't be like stock or your 401k plan that you've got to cash out. If that's the case, do that first so that you're prepared and 100% ready to write a quick offer. Mistake number 8, being wishy-washy, not being decisive, not really knowing what you need and want in a home and what you're willing to pay for it. So in our Bend market, homes are moving really quickly and people are still paying above the list price. So you might have some competition, so be ready for that. And your agent, if it's me or someone else, can help you decide the best way to tackle that competition, to write the very best offer you can write so that you have the best chance at getting the home that you want. Here's one more bonus to avoid. Number 9, you want to avoid misunderstanding or just not being educated on all of the contingencies that can be involved in writing this type of offer. Sight unseen offers are a little bit different, and a lot of different things can go into it to hopefully entice the seller to accept your offer even though you have never seen their home. So these are things that an experienced agent knows and has used. I have a lot of arrows in my quiver that I will pull out and use to hopefully get your offer accepted. So if you're thinking of moving to Bend, I hope that you'll click the link below and grab a copy of my relocation guide, or just call, text, email me. All my contact info is below in the description box of this video. So I hope you'll reach out to me. I love helping people move to Bend. I moved here about 7 years ago now. 7 years ago. And I just love it. So I hope you'll watch all my other videos. I have a bunch of them. Here's a couple right here that you can watch. I've got playlists, things for buyers and sellers. So I hope you take a look, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.